I forgot.
20 minutes later.
Wait, I've got it. Let's get started. Not wasting any time, I'm jumping straight into my first rough sketch. I have to get an approximation of the scene that I have in my head down before I start losing the details. I want to anthropomorphize the nine-tailed fox into a girl around the same age as a young Naruto, and have her face painting the markings present on his cheeks. Having the scene's emotional focus on Naruto's expression as he kinda like shies away. And that first sketch doesn't have to be pretty. It can be a tattered mess of scratch lines, as long as when you look at it, you can see the concept you were going for. It's one of the reasons my first sketch always ends up as such a scribble, and it usually takes 2 or 3 more resketches before I'm ready to move on to flat colors. I think this could be improved if we throw in a dynamic tilt to the scene. Those of you who follow me might have noticed a lot of my paintings are offset at a slight angle. This is in part because tilting the image allows me to pull in closer to the characters and make the story more about them than the background. Always ask yourself, where's the viewer's eye being drawn, and where's the flow of the image? On this painting, a lot of my color scheme is already set, being fan art and all. Most of my decisions come in on how I go about telling the story and how I anthropomorphize the Ninetails. When gender bending or anthropomorphizing a character, or in this case both, it helps to make a list of characteristics and traits, then pick a handful from the most important ones and maintain them into the new version. Things like the Ninetails' dominant color scheme, being orange, red, and black, quickly become the driving force behind how I go about designing Kurama the girl. Orange fur becomes orange hair. 9 tails becomes 9 ponytails. Only 5 of which are showing, but I think that's enough to allude that there's more on the other side of her head. She also has a bracelet with her name on it to really, you might say, spell it out. Yeah, I'm sorry, that was a bad pun. Meanwhile, the big change I made for Naruto was to swap the lines on his face from being part of his base design to being something Kurama has painted on. Before I move back onto the hair for its second pass, I think Kurama's arm could be moved down just a bit. Yeah, that's definitely better. Okay, the hair is going to need some more definition on both their heads, so let's work on building up some more hair-like texture. Starting with a round brush, I'm painting back and forth with both shadows and midtones, building up that base coat of detail, and throwing in a few strands here and there so it doesn't look too organized. On Naruto's hair, I have like no experience painting spiky hair in my style, so I'm experimenting as I go. But I'm not just shooting in the dark. I have some examples on hand, both of original source Naruto and some scattered fan art I've pulled up from Google. I am using a hairbrush of mine this time so I can draw out more of a strandy look for each clump of hair. I haven't quite decided on how I want to handle the background yet, but I can definitely say that I'm leaning towards it being nighttime and having the light source being behind the two of them. So I think it's safe to go ahead and commit to some rim lighting around their hair. I have to decide on something soon, because the lighting angle has to be set to be able to progress much further. And as I'm saying that, I think it just dawned on me what I want to do with the background. Let's make it a festival. It works with the concept of the face painting, and now looking at the rim lighting, this image is screaming to have some nice hanging lanterns placed right behind them. break up the pattern of the sky with some trees, and throw in some confetti. Speaking of confetti, I'm realizing I'm gonna want way more confetti than I feel like painting individually. So I'm gonna hop over to another canvas and throw together a brush that will get the rest of this done a lot faster. Kurama's arm is definitely the least refined part of this image at this stage, so let's get that looking less like a blob and more like a hand. The color is also looking a little pale, so let's flesh that out and have it reflect the environment a bit better. Ooh, just had an idea. Let's have her nails resemble claws. And while we're working on the hand, I'll move the fingers in to grasp the paintbrush more. Some quick liquefaction of the head for some better proportions, and there's one last thing I can think of to tie a connection to Ninetails. Let's have her hair beads resemble Ninetails' eyes. Since they're looking glassy, let's go ahead and lean into that look and have some red light shine through. Shifting back to Naruto, let's rework his eye. I personally love painting eyes. They do so much to bring a character to life, and when given enough attention, they can really stand out as a focal point of an image. We're entering the final stage now, so I'm going to start trying out some different lighting effects. Naruto's jacket needs some work, so let's bump up the lighting level and bring it off the background. Here's something I do on a lot of paintings. If you take a sampling of the color that's dominant in your background, in this case blue, you can paint bucket it into a layer with a blending mode of multiply on top of almost everything. Then you'll be able to use a mask to not only further define your shadows, but also enhance the contrast of your lighting. It works as a nice trick to blend the whole image together and draw out any focal points that might need some last-minute punch. And this being a nighttime scene, I think I'll come back in one last time with a color dodge layer to add in some glow in just a few controlled locations. And all done. Wow, this has turned out great. Far better than my initial concept, where I was going to have the two of them in a backyard type of setting. The nighttime festival works perfect to tell the story and provides a great opportunity for some amazing lighting. I mean, look at Naruto. Look at that eye. It has such a simple design because I wanted it to resemble the anime version, but I never would have guessed that it would still end up looking this good. Well, with this project out of the way, I think I'm going to get back to my rewatching spree of Naruto while I work on my next painting. But before I head out, I want to mention to everyone that my Instagram account is live. So for those of you who might want to follow a more day-to-day progress on what I'm up to, some animal videos, some snapshots of the most recent paintings I'm working on, you can follow me at JR's Junk Drawer. I'll leave a link in the description. But that about sums up my thoughts on today's painting. I am very happy with the results, and I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. And if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Release.